Alrighty, welcome back to today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about editing in Lightroom. And so as you can see here, I have my computer up and we're ready to go. So let's just go ahead and launch Lightroom here. And while that's launching, I'm going to go ahead and find some photos here that haven't actually been anywhere yet. So they're going to be some from when I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was a month ago at this point, I'm not sure. So this is the folder I'm going to be pulling from. All sorts of choices in there. So let's get going. Go full screen. And I'm just going to say import photos and videos. And then we have our sources. So we have our iPhone. Obviously, we don't want to pull from there. We want to pull from this computer. Okay. I'm going to pull from my user. I wish this could be a little more streamlined, but it's not, and that's okay. Now, Chicago unedited. And import. So this is going to go ahead and import all these photos. How are we doing over here? Looks like we are doing, it is damaged. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to just make this guy a little bigger over here. Nice. So we are looking good to go. Alrighty. So, okay. So we'll worry about that kind of thing later. So right off the bat here, we just have all the images I took, all 415. And I'm not going to bore you by going through all these, of course, but we're just going to take some, look at a few things, how I would edit them to pull out some of the detail. So of course, when you're shooting, especially in a city, really anywhere, you want to be sure you're shooting raw because that captures as much data as possible. So let's say I bring up this photo here. All right, this is just downtown Chicago. If we go over to develop, we should be able to bring the highlights down, get some of that sky back. All right, see? So now it's a little more bland looking, but we can see that sky right back there is more visible. So now if we bring our exposure up a little bit, play with our shadows. I like my images a little darker and a little warmer. So if I just go ahead and start, okay, scratch all that. So let's look at the image here before we just like start going crazy. So as you can see, we have a cloud line right around here and right around here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, cloud line here, clouds, and then they kind of peter out around here and then come back up a little bit here. Obviously, this kind of thing is blown out, but if we bring our whites, now if we bring the whites in, now you probably can see that a little bit more. Let me see here. Yeah, so clouds kind of peters out and then it starts coming back up right on this building. So how can we do that? Well, if we go back to highlights, that's completely washed out. We can't even see that, right? So we'll pull that back, bring our shadows up, and then we can drop our exposure. So if you drop the exposure, you can really see it. You can see this cloud line right here, a little more cumulonimbus there, I believe it is. I don't remember all that. And then it peters off and then shows back up a little bit there again, like I said. So let's go there. Let's bring our shadows up. It looks like an iPhone exposing a picture. Okay, so I kind of like where that is. Now, I like my images darker and a little more moody if you've looked at it in my work. So we're just going to bring the black. So I could just do this and just keep dropping the exposure, but eventually we're going to have an image that looks very flat. So yes, I can bring my whites down, bring that all the way up, bring my contrast up, and then drop that as we try and recover the clouds in the back. But sometimes that's just not really possible. So for this, we're just going to keep our contrast pretty good. I like my images a tiny bit, well, let's see. Actually bring our blacks back. Yeah, let's bring our whites down, black a little back, because if you pull your blacks, that can give you a little more contrast without completely saturating the image insanely heavily. So we're going to bring the contrast up just a little bit, bring that up. That was our exposure. Our shadows are pretty much all the way up, and if we zoom in on this tree, how weird does it look? It doesn't look that bad. Okay, so let's zoom back out to our full image here. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Let's warm it just a little bit more. Now, you're going to take this blue, because we should be able to pull this light blue out of the sky. Let's see, can we? No, we can't. Okay, so we're just going to do a sky replacement. Yes. Yep, I know. Hmm. Okay, so here, yeah, we're going to relax. Okay. I believe I chose the wrong tool. Whoops. Turn that off. Okay, I'm gonna do a sky replacement. What the? What the heck? Where'd it go? Oh, we have to open this in Photoshop, don't we? Yeah, okay. Well, sorry, I forgot about this. We actually have to open this image in Photoshop to do a sky placement. So, that'll go away. This will open up in Photoshop and we will be able to continue happily along that path. Okay, there we go. No, I mean, that works too. Okay, there we go. We can do our sky replacement. Okay, got you. Didn't mean to skip review. Okay, a little too fast on the keys today. Holy cow. Yeah, we want to delete that. Yes. Okay, now then, again, sky replacement. Okay, so we can add. It's like that actually works really well, except it's a little dark here. If you look right here, it looks a little unnatural. Now it does fit the image very well. Um, but if you look at the exposure between the sky here and the building, doesn't quite make sense. So we could shift it. Can't really shift it any further than that. So what we will do is we will brighten it up a little bit. And that actually looks fairly good. Let's warm it up just a little bit because, okay, so this actually looks really good. You can see we're bringing out the colors in this sign a little bit more. It's giving some good definition with this building, this Cadillac logo here. Doesn't look too unnatural. Um, just playing a little with the scale here. I think that looks actually fairly good. Let's shift that down just to make sure everything is covered. And I think, I mean, there's obviously other options, but none of those really work because it was an evening setting when I took this picture. It was around 4 o'clock at the time because I had to get back to college before the sunset. So that actually looks very good, I think. I think that really, really works. Nice. So now we're going to say open. Oh, okay, fine. We're going to have to export this. Sorry. I keep thinking I can export it. Yes, save. Now we'll bring Lightroom back up. There we go. And now import photos and video, of course. And this is again that same process where we find the one image. Yes, users, me, desktop, Chicago. And we're going to have one image down here. Not sure where it'll be in the mix. Right there, import. Nice. So now if we look at this image, this is going to be a lot more fun to work with and get how we like. So again, I'm going to warm it up just the hair. Get, how's it bring exposure? Oh, that actually does fairly well. Nice. So bring it a little bit up, a little more contrast, pull our highlights a little bit, keep our shadows. Well, now we can actually bring our shadows down again, which is nice. So bring our whites down and bring these blacks right around there. And so you will notice now it's really more of editing a JPEG. It's really the Photoshop image, which parts of are kind of going to act like a JPEG. So you can see, like, if we look at Lightroom here, it's going to treat it like a JPEG with warmth, for example, which says +5 as opposed to the actual Kelvin. But if we zoom in now,